good enough, hopefully. I'm trying to get my allergies to clear up before I actually do full-on commentary. I don't want to keep muting it every 5 seconds. Hopefully not. Also, I got a new mic. I don't know how it sounds. And I have new internet, or not new internet, but it's like better version of the one that I already have, like slightly. Like a they upgraded. It's like they upgraded their own internet. The company. Rafi. Glad I'm finally back though. Well, apparently I'm really rusty at controlling this. Never thought I could get rusty at something in 2 weeks, but apparently you can't get actually surprisingly rusty. Maybe. Could have been that. I mean, it has been a while. Also, how does the mic sound? How does it sound compared to the other one? Because I have no idea how it actually sounds. Person. I've heard it sounds different. I've heard it really doesn't sound bad, it just sounds different. Really weird. I think it's actually more true to what it should sound because I think the other mic was a bit higher pitch than what it should have been. I think this is a little bit more true to what it should sound. A bit of a warmer tone to it, I've heard, that I know of. Could be completely wrong on that one, but I'm pretty good. I had internet issues for a while. It was really unfortunate because I had to basically ditch the project for 2 weeks and be able to get it fixed. There was also another reason, I forgot what it was, though. I mean, I know I was busy for a good amount of it, actually. That time as well, so... I don't know why I didn't switch. Yeah, it's. I won't say I was super busy. It's just been kind of sad that I had to drop the project for 2 weeks again. Oh yeah, definitely. It's pretty crazy. I mean, I wouldn't mind. Okay, so the thing is, I wouldn't mind if ditch this project if I like started the next section, but it kind of sucks I had to ditch it literally like 15 or so layers before I finished. It was about to be a new record of how like I was gonna finish it in a month and I had to just drop it randomly for 2 weeks. Just for some reason. So my voice is gonna sound a little bit weird because of allergies, so it still isn't gonna be a great test of my voice sounds compared to the other mic, because it's gonna sound a little different regardless because of allergies at the moment. So still not a great comparison. I have to maybe wait till tomorrow, or not tomorrow, on Monday. All players. I have milk. I haven't eaten orange juice though. Maybe when I cut. It could be because of the audio settings. The audio settings that I have are a bit too high, I think. I could be wrong about that. I think I can increase the bitrate, because the bitrate is actually too low for the internet that I have now. I can go up to 3 megabits of, or even 3.5 megabits of data, I guess. Yeah, that's probably why then. This, I don't know, I don't know. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna do anything, but let's just see. Right, see you, Carson. Thank you as well. This may not do anything, but I'm not too sure. I'll just keep it as that for a while. Then, see. I don't know. Maybe it depends on just how loud I speak. Maybe I should just speak a bit louder sometimes. Or sometimes where I think I speak louder than I actually do, but I actually don't speak it very softly. Which I do that all the time anyway, so it's not any different. You have no idea how soft I actually speak. It may not sound very soft on stream, but in real life, my god. I would not want somebody on a loud voice with this mic, I'm just saying. With these settings, your eardrums would literally be shattered. I know some people that can probably shatter eardrums with the mic by just speaking normally. It's like, how do you have such a loud voice? I don't understand. Like, am I really just not putting in that much effort to speak? I mean, I kinda did it during Desktop Tire, and I do it kind of during speeches, like in high school. But that was a rarity. But that takes a lot of effort, and I don't know if that effort's really worth it, and I literally feel like I'm screaming. It's like, I mean, I already have a pretty quiet voice, but combine the quiet voice with the, the lack of effort of actually putting in, uh, having to be louder, it's really frustrating. If I had a louder voice, I'd be different. I wouldn't have to put as much effort into, into speaking louder, but I'm almost forced to, which is really annoying. I mean, I'm not kidding when I say you could be 6 inches from me, like walking next to me, and unless you're in tune with what I'm saying, there are a few people that probably could pick up on it, but um, most people just completely dismiss that I even said anything in the first place. Which is, I guess, kind of a good thing, because it's something I, like, regret saying. It's like, thank God they didn't hear me. In some scenarios, it's useful, but it's just a lot of scenarios, really not. I mean, people probably have me on max output. I mean, I have a friend that talks pretty loudly. For some reason, I never actually adjusted the settings, and he's way louder than everybody else. Actually, most of the time, I don't even speak on Discord, because there's no point to speaking, because good luck getting anybody to listen to you when you have 6 other people talking, with different volume levels. I'm just trying to listen to what everybody's saying more than actually trying to speak. I speak surprisingly loudly if it's like, or at least I can speak surprisingly loudly if I just actually have something to talk about that I can actually. I mean, to be fair, sort of the not putting in effort of speaking loudly is sort of a confidence issue thing. I'd have to totally admit that not speaking loudly thing is sort of a confidence issue. For sure, there's something to do with it. It's not 100%, but I usually say something really stupid when it comes to multiple people. I don't know. It's like my brain just turns off when I have multiple people around. Something about it, like my brain just. It's not even when people are talking, just in general. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I'm just trying to talk for the sake of talking, and then I just get, it's just comes. Something just comes out that I really don't want, like, wise to. think it's because I'm trying to listen to other people and not really listen to what I'm about to say. Like, listen to what I'm about to say, like, thinking about what or I guess you'd say, listen to what I'm thinking about, say. I don't know the best way to say that, but I'm too invested in listening to what everybody else is saying. And I say something really, kind of ridiculous sometimes, I swear. Or I do ridiculous things as well. Not even just say it. I don't know. My brain just straight up. I don't know. I'm actually not really surprised by that. So I didn't understand that, like when going more introspecting with the four sides of the mind. I'm trying to understand the fact that, most of the time, it kind of like the four sides of the mind. I've noticed it's just when when somebody does anything or anything happens within whatever's happening, it could be literally anything that's happening in front of me, or somebody says anything. I've noticed that my mind is kind of like it's almost like a built-in priority system. If that makes sense. It's almost like okay, so if somebody says something, first it's my ego, then my subconscious and my unconscious and my superego. I notice that in terms of like my responses, I guess you could say, of when something happens. If that makes sense. It's like there's like a response that each just takes a turn doing, and I notice it in my own head. I do all these responses in my head, and they're so different in certain scenarios. Like completely polar opposite scenarios, or completely polar opposite responses. Guess what? The first responses in my head that I get are the most chaotic, the most insane, like, responses, and that's because of the short-term, guess you could say, I'm trying to think of a good way to think of this. I guess it's just priority. It's just a priority thing where it's like, okay, here's your first response. See if you want to use it. Second response, here, see if you want to use it. Third response, fourth response. And then it goes until eventually you'll pick a response if it's actually something that makes sense to use. And most people, if they respond immediately, it's usually not a good response in a lot of scenarios. Because people love that short route. People just love reacting to everything and immediately. I mean, if you get good enough at it, you can eventually fine-tune it and be able to prioritize certain sides in certain scenarios. That takes a lot of time, which I'm still trying to figure out how to do. Better, at least. Just games. It's pretty nice. 500 by 500. It's actually really insane, actually. For reference, that's, what is that? Actually, even mind, that's not as much as I thought it was. It's a bit more than a quarter. I mean, 500 by 500 is still pretty insane. It just didn't seem like... It seems like a lot more than it actually is. I'm not gonna lie, like, if you think about it. It's crazy how, like, exponential these sections actually get. Don't get me wrong, that's still ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie. Do you have any video footage of it or anything like that? Because hopefully you have, um, video footage of whatever you're doing. It's pretty much impossible to get anybody to believe what you're saying without video footage. It's pretty much impossible. There's no way someone's just gonna blindly believe that you've mined a 500 by 500 without either a screenshot. Actually, screenshots aren't even that good, honestly. Videos is probably the video live stream, whatever, honestly. Yeah, exactly. A60. I mean, that's what happens when I jump the gun when it comes to logic. Like, it's something that's pretty, it makes no sense. I say it, and then I rethink about it. It's like, oh wait, why did I say that? A little bit of short, what is it? I forgot what it's called. It's kind of what I'm mentioning, actually, earlier when I mentioned the, you wonder where, comments that are really ridiculous come from? It comes from, what is it called, short term. Guess you could say path of least resistance, I guess you could say. So remember, your first response is your ego. And a lot of people have a very weak, Jason, weak amount of logic or childish logic. So their first response Not everybody, but quite a few people. The first response is going to be completely illogical at first, usually. Because they just want to let everybody listen to them, I guess, by default. Everybody, not everybody, a lot of people that, that have these functions in these specific slots, I guess you could say, it's the path of least resistance. They're basically taking the shortest path to just get something out that they can be listened to for other people. May not even realize you're doing this, but this is kind of what's happening. This is where that cycle of priority is. If you just wait like 5 seconds, even, and think before you say anything, or the phrase think before you speak, that's pretty much what these cognitive transitions or these different sides are really telling you. Literally telling you think before you speak. All it's telling you, for the most part. Funny, because the people that would give that type of advice actually are the most likely to actually admit and go against advice. It's really weird. Okay. And alright, I'm finally streaming. God, I finally fixed the internet issues. So I think I can increase my bitrate just a bit. My upload speed is a bit higher. Also, my ping is way better as well, apparently. So I have ultra low latency combined with low latency on the settings, and I have a lower ping. So you guys should be literally getting these messages immediately. Something. No, I'm not actually that surprised by that. It's pretty funny though. do that. Not doing autosave. Autosave is like the bane of my existence. Maybe able to actually increase my internet speeds as well. So apparently, for some reason, this area I think actually has like a fiber line. I don't think it's like gigabyte fiber, but it's like pretty good speeds. Not amazing, but for this area, it's actually kind of insane. I never thought a fiber line could even be possible. It also gives me hope for the future as well, for like other rural areas, I guess you can say. I don't like that word. Weird to say. Especially when you're trying to speak fast. Pretty consistent. Wi-Fi is more. I don't have to worry about my bitrate dropping pretty much at all. I shouldn't ever have to. Unless something randomly happens. Kinda want to get that faster speeds. I kinda want to get faster speeds on this internet. I don't know what I just said there. Not just for me though. It should be really consistent. Especially when my bitrate is actually lower than my upload speed. Which I may increase it slightly. Not much more than what I'm at right now. If I can get faster internet speed, I can have even more, even better bitrate, I guess you'd say. Kind of funny. They were like, "Oh yeah, so I have you at like 13 to 18 megabytes per second speed, capped at 13 to 18." Then when I heard the numbers of what they could like get up to, which was like I think it was between 30 and 80, which is insane about to even have in this area. Like, right, that's pretty insane. Like you have us capped at 13, and it can go up to between 30 and 80 megabytes per second. You have a 25 megabyte per second package. It's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you have a 25 megabyte per second package when go up to 30 to 80? Unless I'm missing something. The how the capping works. Up, Sean. Thank you. Shield. Solo project. Okay. This is not Java, this is C. There's somebody doing this on Java though, which is kind of insane to think about. His name is AVI, capital A, capital V, and capital I. I could definitely see. Well, I guess if you go to a live stream, there's always somebody to talk to. Something. Thank you, Jose, for subscribing. Actually kind of weird not sounding robotic when you thank somebody for doing something else. I always found it weird when streamers do that, but now I'm starting to understand what that really why, because it's so difficult to make it sound more genuine than it actually is, or than it can be, I guess you could say. I just got a new mic. Oh, I didn't realize that. Different names. For some reason. I don't know why I didn't even catch that. But, that's pretty cool. So I use the, I think it's, Yamaha DM500, get what it was. It's a new mic that I just got. I've been trying it out for a while. Well, it does. I think it's better than the other mic I had. I'm not too sure. I know it sounds quite a bit different. It's a very light headset. I'm just saying, super light. Like I thought the other one was light. This is even lighter. Saying a lot. I think barely feels like I'm wearing even. Like I'm barely even wearing a headset at all. I don't know. I've heard it doesn't sound worse. I just heard it sounds different. Now, I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do. I need to do to change the mic settings on this. No, like, actual way for me to mess with like the actual. I guess you could say the EQ of the mic. Say, actually, I'm trying to figure out how to differentiate. Both of you. That'd actually be pretty cool. So I've killed the Ender Dragon over 800 times at least. I'm pretty sure on that. Maybe up to 900 in this. I've only killed it Wither like 12 times or something like that. Not that much, I believe. Because I only got it for 12 beacons. 10 for the overworld and 2 for the nether. Which eventually I'll be moving these over to the nether anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Days you killed them. What does that even mean? I think I'm dead. Okay. That's just unfortunate. God damn it. I think I destroyed the block on accident that I was standing on. I couldn't really tell though what the heck was even happening. Not gonna lie. This is why I'm contemplating keeping the chest plate on in the nether. Because good luck surviving falling into the lava. Actually, well, to be fair, I think it's gonna be a little bit more controlled, at least. That's the only good thing about the nether one, is gonna be a little bit more controlled of where I'm at. Because I'll always be standing near sand most of the time, because I'm gonna be placing it down with all the lava, so... Fortunately, I think I'm gonna get my chest plate just for the sake of durability. Because you know how much how much lava messes with durability. It's kind of... Yeah. That's pretty much the plan. Keep a chest plate on until all the main lava is gone, which is pretty much what, 99% of the lava in the nether. Just that lava encounter right there probably used like a third of my durability, at least on my boots and leggings. To be fair, this is like the most dangerous layer in the entire section. It's right above lava. Directly above it. Or it's right above the... My god, that is a lot of lava, but it's right above the caves that lava spawn in, I guess you could say. Which is way more dangerous than the actual, like, layers of lava. Because it's hard to judge if you're gonna fall into the cave or not. Deceptive. Okay, thank god. Stupid gravel. At least I won't have to deal with the, like, gravel like that. That was close. Okay, yeah. Where I regret anything. water. That sounds weird, but I'm gonna water after pickaxe because I fell in lava again, but I don't know if you were here when it happened. But luckily I didn't die. I'm gonna water myself after this pickaxe. Yeah, I'm gonna start using that. That'd be really funny. Like, instead of getting something to drink, I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna go, hey, I need to go water myself real fast. I'm gonna go water myself real fast. I think it's actually really... I think one of the funniest things is, like, at work, for example, when I'm putting up dishes. It's funny when people assume that, like... Jesus, horrible lag, my god. They almost, in a way, assume, I mean, they are assuming, that, I don't plan things out. It's like they think everybody else just is super robotic in a way. I don't really blame them, I'm pretty robotic, but... Like, I'm gonna put this dish here so I can put up this dish and then put up this dish, but they're like, hey, this dish doesn't go here. It's like, yes, I'm very aware of that. I don't say this, but like in my head, I'm like, I don't think these people are aware that people can actually plan things out. They just blindly tell somebody, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. It's like, yeah, I know I shouldn't be doing that. I'm just planning something out fast. It'd be even funnier because you could react in a way, or you could say something like, yes, I know this, I know I understand, I'm planning out what I'm doing. And then, it's even more triggering when somebody gets mad over it. It's like, dude, you're the one that assumed that, what I'm doing. You didn't even bother with my intentions. You only told me you're only seeing what I'm doing, not with what I want to do or my own intentions of doing something, which is really triggering for somebody who's literally default to somebody's default to attention or intentions, their own plan, I guess you could say, for themselves. Wait a minute, are you saying that vacuum cleaner in German is dust sucker in English? Or are you saying that vacuum cleaner in English is dust sucker German? Still not too sure what you're saying. Are you saying that vacuum cleaner, like the English word, the two English words, vacuum cleaner, if you translate vacuum cleaner to German, it means dust sucker? Is that what you're saying? Okay, so I've seen what that '07 thing. What is that? I still don't know. Like, I kind of know what it is, but I'm still not too sure at the same time. I think I have a rough idea. I'm still not too sure. That is it like a sad? There has to be some kind of reference I'm missing here with what that means. I have seen what that is, but I don't know what it is. And I don't really blame you. I've actually gotten, at one point, yeah, at some point I got pretty addicted to those grind games, I guess you could say. I have no clue. Is it really somebody saluting? Oh, okay. Oh, that actually, then you know what, that actually does make sense. It's like your fallen comrade, I guess you could say. Like, that type of thing, if that makes sense. It actually makes sense. It actually does, make sense. Like somebody falls prey to something or something like that happens. Salute. As like a sign of respect. Which is basically an F. Which makes perfect. I've seen that, and it's usually under like some kind of sad tone or context. So I'd never actually understood specifically what it meant until now, obviously, but... No, I don't see it though. I don't see how in... You know what? Actually, never mind, I do. I was gonna say I don't see how that's a salute, but that actually does make sense, never mind. Like, looking at it again. Because it's like, the O is like the head, and then you have like, the arm, slant. Seemed a bit weird at first, after looking back at it. It actually does make sense. It's kind of clever, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who thought of that, but pretty clever. I don't know, like, I thought the O was a head, and then you have, like, the hand as the top part of the 7, and then um, the bottom part of the 7 as the lower part of the arm. So, like, the top part of the 7 is the hand, and then the lower part is the arm. Makes like a 7. I don't know. So also, I'm just gonna mention, I understand why people forget things in school. About a couple times, DO7. I just never knew what it meant. They mentioned, my guy that, made it. Chat. Perfect opportunity to ask. Because, like, I saw it a couple times. I was wondering what it was, and then I was gonna question it at some point, but nobody ever... Oh. I think I figured out why people forget things in school. It's because there's no real... First thing is, this is specific for certain types. This is not for every type. Definitely not. But, so this is pretty much how thinking works in general. Externally, like reference points, and internally, which would be logic. Which, or maybe not logic in its own, but it's a logic is a component of this. So all the thinking like functions do are basically taking information and you're making reference points, either using external sources, internal sources. So external sources, this is why people in school, certain types excel better in school than they do in than other types. TE users, which would be external thinking, people who utilize reference points, other people's thinking, to do well in school, because you gotta remember that school is mainly regurgitation, basically taking an information and regurgitating it back out. Thing is, TE users that excel the best in school, they basically just take people's, like, the thoughts of school, I guess you could say, and, they pretty much just refer one thing to another into another. You're basically just taking one fact and you're referring it to its original source. I guess that makes sense. Like, it's more of a belief thing, because it may not actually be the originality or the original. I don't know if this even makes sense. This is really hard to put into. But, it's gonna take a little bit more thought process to actually, like, get through properly. I may need to think about this a bit more, but... basically seeing, like, patterns in, like, data, but you're just connecting data with other data. That's all you're doing. It doesn't matter. It's like you're relating one data to another piece of data, or datum, I guess you would say, because it's one piece. You're relating datum, pieces of datum, which would be data, with other data out there. And you're creating this external reference. You're creating this giant library, I guess, if that makes sense, of data. But if you don't have that reference available, like, there's no real reference that you can actually sponge off of, then, you'll forget it. But to be fair, during school, you don't have to, because, you shouldn't forget it, because you're at the school. And all that information that's on the test, or an exam, or quiz, or whatever, is there in front of you, so literally will not forget it. And then, TI, which would be logic, which it doesn't always have to be, I mean, it is logical, but pretty much TI is just internal reference point. It's basically how you yourself will remember something. This is why they have mnemonics, stuff like that. This is why mnemonics even exist. Because TI. This is why when I had trouble memorizing, say, I mean, I still have trouble. Like, even if I try to remember something, I could still forget it. Even if I kind of know it, because I didn't actually use the TI user, pretty much this, TI user basically references, or not references, they basically just have to relate what they know to what the new information that's already being presented. It's basically your own personal spider web head of data. It's like what you already know as a fact, as a thing. To be fair, it may not actually be 100% fact. You relate that to the new information that you're being gathered. This is why it's so hard to learn new subjects sometimes, is because the terms and stuff like that are so foreign to what you already know. You have to basically have new information. Which is why I'm trying to figure out new ways to remember things, like the purest mnemonic you can think of. It has to be a quick way to relate two pieces of information. So for example, kind of a weird example, like let's state capitals. A good example of like how having to remember, not having to, but wanting to remember state capitals or something like that. I mean, sure, yeah, I could just go through the entire list and take like 5 million years to go through it. Or I can figure out a very insane out there type of outlandish way, I guess you'd say. Outlandish. But way to remember, say, the state capitals. Like I know some of them without even using the external or using reference points, like not using external reference points. What does it? What that actually makes? Actually, no. That actually, I mean, I could see that definitely being a thing. Okay, for example, just as an example, memorizing, this was kind of stupid, but I'm just trying to figure out new ways to memorize pieces of information. So for example, I wanted to memorize the speeds, like mining speeds, to break a block in Minecraft, which that's way harder than it sounds because it's literally a chart with numbers that don't really relate to each other. But there's a way to make them relate to each other. So stupid is pretty mainly based on that person. in their judgments of another person. Or another thing, honestly. I mean, to be fair, you can use stupid, but if it's only I mean, it's mainly mainly your own fault. Usually, if you call something stupid, though, like that when I called the gravel stupid. But usually, I use stupid in a very very ironic term. I never use it. So if I ever use it, which I'm trying not to, but I'll just say ridiculous. It's a better way to say it. But even though that is still more subjective, it's still a little bit. Still isn't that bad. But memorizing the Minecraft mining speeds. So how I came about doing it, I wanted to try stone, because stone was like the base thing I could think of. It was like the first one I thought of with mining speeds. Weirdly enough, I remember all the obsidian ones. Maybe because I think the numbers are so different from each other. Okay, so the first thing I have to evaluate what do I already know of whatever I'm looking at, whatever the chart is. So for example, the obsidian one. I know obsidian, the only thing to mine out was, the only thing that can mine obsidian was since the charts have a green number and a yellow, or green and red meaning they can't mine them with that block, you can't gather it. So it made it way easier to memorize obsidian than stone, for example, because stone you could use to mine with all of them except for obviously your fist. But oh yeah, I've seen that one before. But what those are actually called? Yeah, emojis, but I'm not too sure what they're really called. They're basically emojis, but opera in it. So how I came about rising the mining charts is I basically just turned it into sort of a math equation. I just kept reducing it down. I basically just tried to find a pattern within the chart itself, if there was any, that is. And I basically just had to put out my own words. Like for example, stone takes 7.5 seconds to mine with your fist. That was like my standard, because that one really stands out. And then oh yeah, this is also an interesting thing. Now the reason I know it's 7.5 seconds is because the oh yeah, the hardness was 1.5, which both of them, if you subtract or minus the two digits, it's 6 both, so both of them, so 1.5, so you take the 1.5, you add them together, it's 6, and you take the not hard, the mining speed, 7.5, so 7, 5, you subtract, just kind of weird. It took a little bit to figure that out. It's 4 minutes and 10 seconds with your fits. 250 seconds. And oh yeah, I remember. It's 6.35 seconds faster to mine stone with the wooden pickaxe, so it'd be 1.15. I just subtracted it because it's always gonna subtract no matter what. Gonna go quicker. Most part for most of these statistics. Stone pickaxe takes 0.75 seconds because the only reason I know this, I don't know why I figured this out, but somehow this was kind of a luck, but it takes the same amount of time to mine deep slate with an iron pickaxe than it does to mine stone with the stone pickaxe, to mine stone with the stone pickaxe. There it is. That's basically how I got to that conclusion. Kind of weird and very lucky that I managed to figure out that one. But and then it goes 875. I'm trying to remember what the calculations were. It was I love how I can memorize the obsidian one with literally like no doubts whatsoever. But I can't memorize the stone one. I can't remember the stone one. I don't know why. I think it's because the numbers are so different from each other. I think that's why. But 0.6, 0.75, 0.6, 0.8, B, 0.2, and then 0.25. Oh, never mind. I was actually right, it was 0.6. Yeah, it takes point. Interestingly enough, that is the same digit as stone. So the stone speed is the same digit, so 6.6. 0.0 plus 6 is 6, so 6 equals to the hardness and the speed of connecting already. Like I just connected the hardness, the mining speed with fist, and the mining speed with stone pickaxe. Literally just by pattern, just through pattern recognition of. But yeah, 0.6. 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, 0.25, 0.2. So it's 0.6, and then subtract by 0.2. Get the get the 0.2 to get the 0.25. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 0.6 stone. 6 stone. And then you subtract 2, get the iron's mining speed. So iron mines stone 0.2 seconds faster than stone pickaxe. The diamond pickaxe mines stone block 0.1 1 seconds faster. netherite mines. Yeah, netherite pickaxe mines stone 0.5 seconds fast, 0.05 seconds faster than diamond, and then gold mines diamond, gold pickaxe mine 0.05 seconds faster than netherite. There's a 0.05 increment decrease, or 0.05 decrease in time from diamond to gold. 1 increment. 0.1 decrease. Diamond, netherite. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. I got it. I hope I can remember it. Pretty sure I can remember it. I think I have it all in my head. Basically just calculate it. Make a calculation out of it, or sort of make a calculation. Making a calculation. Combine calculations with patterns, I guess you could say is best. Would be the best way to remember it. Oh yeah, obsidian. Okay, so 250 seconds for with your fist. It goes it like doubles the speed, I guess you could say, down to stone. And it gets weird after that. 250 seconds. That's 125. 62.5. It's a bit weird. It takes 250 seconds. Fist. 55 seconds. Stone pick. Tin pickaxe. 62.5 seconds. So they yes, 2.5 seconds to mine with the stone pickaxe. Actually, what was iron? I know diamond is 9.4 and netherite's 8.35 because there's 1.05 second difference between diamond and netherite. And then gold is 20.85. Actually, give me a second. I need to do something else. Okay, I think I got it. I like that the cable on this is cable on the headset is pretty nice. It actually reaches better than the other one. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so this took a little bit to think about. But also I'm going to mention the hardness of obsidian is 5 times uh pretty much if you just divide the mining speed of the fist, like how long it takes, 250 seconds, you divide it by 5, you get the hardness of obsidian, which is 50. Okay, so how I figured out the iron, I think I completely missed this, or it just completely left my brain entirely, but okay, so for the obsidian, I just subtracted the amount from the stone pickaxe to the from the stone pickaxe mining speed from the iron, which gives you roughly the speed of the gold pickaxe mining speed, which would be 20.8, so it's 62.5 minus 41.7, which I don't know if that's a great way to remember it, but the difference between pretty much the difference between the iron and the stone pickaxe mining speeds are roughly the equivalent of the mining speed of the gold pickaxe. So it'd be 20. It'd be obsidian would have a hardness of 50. Mining fist. The mining speed of to mine obsidian with your fist is 250 seconds. Then it's 125 seconds. That's 62.5. Then it's 41.7. Which I'm probably gonna mess up on the iron one, but whatever. Diamond is 9.4, and it's a 1.05 decrease to 8.35, and that's 20.85. But yeah, that's sort of how to memorize values. Like, those type of values. Yes. Takes a lot of pattern recognition, but I mean... a lot of time. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of time. It just takes a lot of searching, I guess you could say. I guess how to remember charts, you just kind of figure out relations between pieces of data, and then you have if you're dealing with like information like facts, you would just put in your own words, I guess. Same with numbers as well, I guess. In some way at least. I'll have to figure out how that one works. And then I mean, mainly if it's illogical, like if it's something that just, like the chart, I mean, it kind of makes sense, sort of. I mean, you have to look at the chart, but just figure out the logical patterns between different pieces within the chart. I don't know. Speaking of obsidian, pretty sure deep slate is almost exactly twice as fast as or twice as it takes twice as long to mine deep slate. If I remember correctly, deep slate, the hardness, the mining speeds. It was 15 seconds for, because it's exactly twice as fast for the mining speed. Oh yeah, the hardness was exactly double as well of stone. It was at 6. And then we have, I wonder if I just kept doing this over and over again. I wonder how many patterns I can find between, the different block values and stuff like that. I think it'd be pretty cool to figure out. It also helped me figure out how memory, like, logic works when it comes to memorizing data, pieces of data, putting data together. But, yeah, deep slate 15 seconds, and then it's, 2. Was it 2? No, it's 2.25. Yeah, there it is, because it's 1.10. It's 1.1 times faster, mining a stone, or mining deep slate, or it takes 1.1 seconds longer to mine deep slate with the wooden pickaxe than it does to mine stone with the wooden pickaxe. Then, because I know it wasn't 2.3. And then it's 1.15. I only know that because it's twice as fast, or it takes the same amount of time to mine stone with a stone pickaxe than it does, or yeah, it takes the same amount of time to mine deep slate with this iron pickaxe than it does for the same amount of time for, god dang it, this is really hard to think about, but, yeah, it takes the same amount of time for an iron pickaxe to mine deep slate than it does for stone pickaxe to mine stone. There we go. It's 1.15. Then the rest are kind of hazy, I'm not gonna lie. I think I remember correctly, I think enchantments give a 371% increase, or is that just with efficiency 4 or efficiency 5? I don't know. I think each efficiency level gives a... I don't remember. I'll just keep doing these. Kind of fun to remember. Wait a minute. I messed this up. The comparisons. Yep, I messed it up. Okay, so... Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so... Deep Slate. It's actually a stone pickaxe to a wooden pickaxe comparison, so... A stone pickaxe mines deep slate the same amount of time a wooden pickaxe mines stone. That's what it was. And then an iron pickaxe mines deep slate 0.4 seconds faster than the stone, so it'd be 0.1 or 1.15 to 0.75. Which, if I remember correctly, it's the same as copper ore. If I remember. Yeah. And then after that, it goes diamond. So after that, it's a 0.1 increment. So it's, or it's a 0.15 increment from an iron pickaxe to diamond, and then it's a 0.1 increment. So it goes 15, 2.25, 1.15, 0.75, 0.6, 0.4, 0.5, 0.4. That's what it was. And then, now only if I could figure out a way to translate this ability, like not ability, but like this way of remembering block mining speed values with depending on the pickaxe with other forms of data, I guess you could say, other types. So relating qualitative data types, or qualitative data versus quantitative data. Because remembering quantitative data is way easier than qualitative, from what I've seen at least. Also, I think I actually learned a new word as well. It's called sully. Literally, the word is just sully. I've never heard of that word until recently. Sully. It basically just means you're removing the purity or like the integrity of something. So like for example, like how I have a corruption vice on my type. So if I remove my if I became more corrupt with like morality for example, or my own thinking, I guess you could say, it would be I would have sullied myself basically. Sullied my integrity, or it's sullied my I think that's how you say it, sullied, or how you say it in terms of like the way you. Give me a second. I think that's how you say it. Not like actually how you say the word, but like how you use it in a word, or use it in a sentence. Okay, yeah. Sully is like you're doing something. It's like a verb. Like if I ruin my integrity, I'd be sullying my integrity, if that makes sense. Or I sullied my integrity. I sullied my morality, I guess you could say, is a better way to say it. Or I would sully my, if I did this, I would sully my morality. trying to figure out how to... Wait here. Bust. I think it's actually exactly what I needed. Well, sort of. It's like a... It shows qualitative analysis, but it's basically what I'm looking for, in a way. It shows basically the... It's like for chemistry or something like that. But it's kind of what I'm looking for, in a way. Sort of. I mean, it's still qualitative data, so... There's always some really weird arguments about how, like, somebody should learn... Like, how Americans should just stop, just only... Like, should learn another language. But they're in the US, and the people who are saying this are in the US, so it's like, okay, I mean, I don't really understand. I mean, I guess if you're like literally border, I mean, I'm technically in the border or near the border of Mexico, sort of. I'm not like at the edge, but I'm not like a middle state. Like I'm not in like the northern states or even like middle the US. I am at the bottom, but still, even then. Hey, back to the qualitative data. I just don't know what to do with the... I think I'm just gonna have to somehow figure out a way to, like, relate a fact about... So, for example, I'm trying to figure out how to memorize the state capitals, which you can put it in a chart, which is still... It's qualitative data. That's what state capitals really is, because it's a name... It's a name that represents a state's capital, so, I mean... It's qualitative. It's the quality of the state, which is the capital. Yeah, exactly. And you know, the crazy part is you're even more influenced to, because English is so popular, you can literally go to another country and teach it. So it's like there's even more incentive to, and not really have to learn another language, because you can literally just teach English to other places, and then they learn English, and then do not have a code. This is on console anyway. This is a legacy version. Pretty sure I already said it earlier when I was dying in lava. Lava? I've also been trying to memorize the US presidents as well. I think that would be kind of interesting, learn both, because I'm just trying to figure out how to learn qualitative data. That's really, if I can remember to do that, I can memorize anything, I'm just saying. If I can memorize quantitative data, which I pretty much am pretty good at doing now, I'm pretty sure I can remember qualitative data. If I can memorize that, I can memorize literally anything. As long as I have enough input, if that makes sense. If I have enough input, I can memorize it and just store it in my mind. All I know is that the, I mean, obviously the first president was George Washington in 1789. That's the only thing I know. In terms of, like, for sure, no. I'm actually 100% certain on that one. The only one I know. I was trying to go in a, like, a chronological order, but that still isn't that useful. God dang you. Alright. Fine. Have it your way. Then not only do I have to memorize the order, but I have to remember which president would which. There's probably something I could do, like in history or something like that. Maybe I could just look at history of US presidents and I could just combine the facts of somehow figure out a way to like chronologically order each of the facts for each of the presidents or something like that. I don't know, does that even make sense? It's basically the only way I can think of learning how history works. Or not how history works, but learning history. This is why history is so difficult for a lot of types, and just why people usually just forget history is because there's no logic to it. There's literally just referential knowledge. This is also why a lot of types that are, like, say, referential based learning are into history, is because a lot of them are past oriented, inquisitive, inquisitive, inquisitive. Basically, somebody who likes to good lord, to question things. I just want to memorize the order. I think it'd be kind of funny to actually just know all whatever, how many presidents has already been at this point. Off the top of my head, that would be pretty sick. Or at least, even if I have to think about it for like a second or two, that would still be very useful. I mean, not useful, but it would be useful to figure out how to learn it. It's not really about the usefulness of the information itself. It's more like the usefulness of just trying to learn the information. Because if I can learn the order of the presidents, like if I have a methodology to like figure out some kind of method to learn quantitative or qualitative data, then that would be so incredibly useful. Holy Jesus. Or at least it could be useful, I would think. It's not really about the information itself, it's more like the learning process of learning the actual information. And this means if I learn qualitative data, I can learn literally like any subject, because remember, data is divided into two types. It's the quantitative and qualitative data. Quantitative is the amount, represents the amount of data. So like if you said there are this many presidents that have existed, that's qualitative. But if you say this president, the fourth president is this, then it's that would be qualitative, because it's you're representing it with a name. Qualitative is name representation. It's representing with like a string. It's the qualities of something. Qualitative, quality. Like someone's name is the quality of something. Now, I'm not 100% certain. Now, I'm not 100% certain if like, say, somebody was born in, what was it? Oh yeah, I think it was Twizzler. I don't know why I know this, but I think it was like Twizzler was created in 1929 or something like that. Like, for example, like somebody's date, like birth date, I guess you could say, birth date. I think that's qualitative, I'm pretty sure. Even though it represents a number, like a number to some. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my license plate is, but I should probably memorize that at some point. Figure out a way to memorize it. Yeah, that makes sense. Why you can only recognize them when you see them. Same for mine. Actually, there probably is a difference between my car. I mean, actually, there is a pretty decent scratch on the side of my car, so I could probably memorize or see where what my car is, look-wise difference. I just have to look on the side. There's a very, I don't know how noticeable the scratch is, but it's like a very, pretty light scratch. I mean, people will probably make a way bigger deal out of it than it actually is. Okay. I don't really have any real reason to continue. Really don't. Also has a weird noise, but really don't have any reason to continue. I will continue to figure out how to qualitative data, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go in the stream now. It's already two, and I finished the layers, so, and I wanted to catch up on the layers because I was only like partially way through part of one earlier. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go and end the stream now. I'll be back in like days or something like that. And the bitrate should increase. I don't know if the quality is gonna increase, but it may increase. Maybe. I'm not too sure yet though. Yeah, I'll see you guys later.